Well, hey, Community Church, coming back at you with the daily Bible reading videos. Yesterday we had Joshua chapter 2. Today we have Joshua chapter 6. We'll be reading a couple more chapters in Joshua, and we get to Judges on Friday. But Joshua is, it's an amazing book. I mean, it's a lot of times we don't get to it, right? Because we get stuck in Leviticus and Numbers in our yearly Bible reading thing, and then we don't pick it back up. But there's a lot in Joshua that we may have even heard about, maybe not necessarily read. A lot of children's stories come based out of Joshua, and actually we'll be commemorating a time capsule on Sunday and using Joshua chapter 4 to help commemorate that. But we read chapters 2 yesterday and chapter 6 today, and one of the things I wanted to point out in these two chapters is the person of Rahab. Rahab the prostitute. That's how we're introduced to her. But in chapter 2, we see that she houses the spies because she has heard what the Lord has done, and she has a fear of the Lord and recognizing that the Lord is sovereign over all. And so she acts out of faith to house these two enemy spies. They're enemies at this point. And the spies say, surely you will be saved when we come to destroy the city. And then in chapter 6, we see the conquest of Jericho and the classic story of marching around the walled city and the blowing of the trumpets and the walls crumble and fall. You can go read that, but I want to focus in the aftermath that the promise to Rahab was kept. And so Rahab and her family were kept from the conquest of Jericho. And why is this important? Well, you may not know, and maybe you do, I don't know. But Rahab, the prostitute, is in the line of David, who, from David's line, we get Jesus. I find it amazing that the Bible is the story of God and God's people that just constantly points to Jesus. So when we jump to Matthew 1 and you read the genealogy, you realize that Rahab is right there in the lineage of Jesus. And we get the story of Rahab here in the beginning of Joshua as introduced, how she's introduced as a prostitute. It's pretty much as low as you can get. But because of the faith of someone unexpected, the faith of Rahab, hundreds of years later, through that line, we get our Savior, Jesus. I love the way that the Bible just constantly connects to one another between the Old Testament and the New Testament. It's not just, well, that's the Hebrew Bible and that's it, and we have our New Testament. No, the entire Bible is written for us. It may not be written to us, but it's for us. And it's the story of God and God's people that is constantly and through pretty much every page is pointing to our Savior Jesus. And so I wanted to point that out, that Rahab, the faith of Rahab, and her family line eventually turns into Jesus Christ. So I hope you learned something new today, Community Church. I hope you continue along with these Bible reading videos. Continue with the Bible reading. Again, we're going to be sitting in Joshua for the next couple of days. We have a chapter in Judges here at the end of the week. Keep tuning in. Keep discussing it on Sunday mornings. It's been a pleasure for me, and I hope you have enjoyed it as well. So have a good rest of your Tuesday, Community Church.